Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick. Today we have set number 10745, the Florida 500 Final Race. It contains 266 pieces and retails for $49.99. So, doesn't look the greatest in terms of price per piece right off the bat, but it's a junior set and it's based on Cars 3, so, it's kind of to be expected. So in addition to the car elements, the set includes a bit of scenery to recreate the Florida 500 final race setting, kind of. And it works alright, and you can see there's enough room, for you to set up a racetrack where you can drive some cars side by side, and you can just rearrange these little borders. They're not attached at all, so, you can make a curve, and you can spread them out to make it look bigger, and you could easily just with a 1x8 plate and some tiles, make more of these to, create a little bit more of a track setup. But, especially for the space that I've got here, this works perfectly. Yeah, I mean, there are a total of 6 of these sections, as well as the one, that's attached to that. There's also this little trophy stand, which has 2 printed checkered flags printed on both sides, which are cool, and a gold trophy, pearl gold, which is exclusive to this set in that color. There's also this little, pit crew section, kind of, which I think would go nicely with the Luigi and Guido Jr. set. And, you can take the little gas nozzle and attach it into Guido's arm thing. But, it doesn't work perfectly because there's a lot of tension in this rubber piece. So, it really just wants to send that flying. Or send Guido up in the air. Which I guess you could use that as like, oh, I can't control it, or now he's going crazy. So, I mean, kids will have fun with that, for sure. But it's not the, it's not either the greatest looking or, best working little play feature. But, it is what it is. And there's a little wrench there as an accessory. You'll notice it does get a little bit hard to, mess around with this stuff because you'll easily push the whole track around, like I already did. But, just pulling everything out of the way, besides the starting line and the, I guess starting line booth. The actual starting line is alright. It's very simple at the base, but I do like the use of these pieces. It gives it a relatively neat look. These parts in the Translate Blue really help bring in the feel of this raceway from the movie, and I like that printed piece there. I wish these were studs, but I guess they didn't want kids choking on them or losing them. It's easy to substitute those out yourself. You got a couple lights there, and from the back it looks very plain. But I mean, it looks okay from the front. It's not awful to have. And then this little section here is separate from that. I like it quite a bit. I mean, it's got the race striping, this printed tile, which is exclusive, obviously, to this set. And we've got this with all these stats about the number 51 car, which in this case is Cruz. And then, another common printed piece there. And I like the use of these blue support pieces, which again helps bring in the Florida 500 kind of feel. But, they're also just a neat part. They were only otherwise used in the Saturn V set. And you'll notice there's just enough space to fit Guido in here. So, you can kind of, I don't know, sit in there if he wants to. Maybe it's raining. Oh wait, there's a grate on the top. Doesn't really work, but, I don't know why you'd use that, but you can, and I think kids will find it cool that you can hide your character inside there. There's also this, which you could imagine is like a water cooler, but with gas and for cars. And then a fire extinguisher. And the, the big thing that this is supposed to be is like the signal, so, put down the flag for stop. And as soon as the green flag goes, it's the final lap, I think, or however racing works. I'm not 100% sure. Gotta brush up on my how to race. And the big draw of the set, I think, is obviously supposed to be Mac, because, he's cool, I guess. It is built with some very basic Junior-y pieces. This whole front section that is printed with his face, that's all one big piece. You can kind of see the seam there, which is kind of weird. And then you also have this one big longer piece for the rest that has the ball joint and everything. But it looks okay, I think. I think the prints for this guy are really good, especially that front section. I like that print quite a bit. The eyes, good. I like how they use one of these new pieces which they introduced for Sheriff and Junior Moon as the hat. I think that that's pretty neat. And you got the 295s printed on two 3x3 or 3x2 tiles. The back of his cab looks okay. I mean, is what it is. And these pieces I was surprised to find are actually relatively uncommon in that color. And you can take the trailer, which by itself, doesn't stand perfectly flat, which I think is kind of a shame. I think it wouldn't have been that hard to actually make it work properly. The side here has a bunch of printed panels. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total, and they do a decent job. They line up pretty well, and they look good. But I think the bad thing here is that this piece is so tall, it cuts off at the bottom here a little bit unnaturally, and I just feel like if they could have at least minimized the size of this, they could have done a lot more with this trailer. And I think that the awkwardness there is most obvious when viewed from the back, because that door is way higher than it should be. It should be like down here, but it's not, and instead we have a really steep ramp. But you can fit a car inside, and you can drive all the way through, and you can fit a second one, which is good. Good playability there. And I really like the print on this back flag bannerish piece, but it's just way too high up. And the slope there is actually really just to cover the top of that, I would imagine, because it's not super accurate to Mac, but it's not awful. I mean, it doesn't look super out of place. The other side is just mirrored prints of what we saw before, and you'll notice from the top it has no roof. That's actually mainly to allow you to be able to get the cars out easily, and that works well, but it looks kind of dumb because Mac has no roof. Guido appears here. He's exactly the same as the one from Luigi and Guido's Pit Stop. Again, it's worse than the original Guido from the 2011 car sets, but it's not awful, and it's still instantly recognizable. There's not much you can do with him besides roll him around. Cruz Ramirez here appears in her Dynaco sponsored paint job, and I think that this is a pretty well-built figure. She's got the spoiler here, which is different than her other appearances. It's got Dynaco printing on there. That has this eye piece, which has the 51 print, which makes it different than the other ones. And we got these Dynaco symbols on the side with the dinosaurs. I like that design. And the Dynaco across the front is what it is. It's accurate to the movie. The wheels, I believe, are relatively uncommon. They might be exclusive. They might appear in one other set, though. And, that's just mirrored to the other side. And this is actually my favorite part, I think, honestly, the Dynaco logo here, how it's split between two of these pieces, but still looks really, really good. I think they did a great job with that. So, overall, Cruz, I think, is a win here. Lightning gets close. I mean, he looks good from this angle. This hood piece is actually relatively generic. You could use that to make, like, a custom Cars character pretty easily, because it's just got the mouth, and there's nothing else character-specific about it. The Fabulous Lightning McQueen stickers or prints on the sides, no stickers in the set, because juniors, are, they're good. It's a nice callback to the Hudson Hornet, as it was in the movie. But I do wish that they'd made a Doc Hudson, because I think that this would work better for Doc. Because, he's a cooler character. And the top cabin piece, is good. I mean, I like it. I really like the use of the spoiler in plain dark blue here. I think that's good. And here's where the build kind of fails, because you got the blue base, the Junior's car base piece, which is a different color for Cruz, but it's a more similar color. It's a bright light orange instead of yellow. The blue really kind of stands out. I know it's to make it easier to build, but, you know, it kind of stinks that it has to detract from the appearance. And here is the real draw of the set for me and probably many other people. It comes with Jackson Storm, the main antagonist of the Cars 3 movie, and they did a pretty good job with him. I believe that this is a new mold for, you know, his cabin piece, because it's pretty much the same as Lightning McQueen's, except it's shorter, and it extends one stud shorter in the back as well. But it's got really good printing on there. I like that design, the eyes. It's got a good level of confidence. You got these prints on the side with the 2.0. His mouth, it says Igniter in several places. I think the prints do a good job lining up. Everything about it is good. It even has this print on the back, which I wasn't expecting, but you know, it's nice. And what I really, really love about it is that it covers up the back pretty much completely. So, you know, you don't see the nice light gray of him, which I think would also really stand out if it were visible. And there's a little bit of color change with the black in the back here as well. And they do a good job keeping it nice and sleek. But I think the other thing that's really notable about him are these printed wheel hubs. And that's just a really, really nice look. It makes him look fast when... focus. Makes him look kind of fast. You move it back and forth. I know it's a little bit hard to see because the camera doesn't want to stay focused. But, you know, I mean, if we spin a wheel, yeah, looks cool. I like that. And those are going to be nice wheels to have. It'll be interesting if they appear in another set to make them easier to get in the future, but I don't really see that happening, and I think that, you know, it's nice that they went the extra mile and, you know, added that cute little extra touch. So overall, I think that this is a, you know, alright set for what it is. I think that, you know, for adult collectors and AFOLs, it poses little of value besides the cars, and even then, you know, Lightning McQueen's not that great, neither is Guido. Jackson Storm and Cruz Ramirez are pretty good, and I don't have many complaints about them. But everything else, there's a ton you can nitpick. But if you consider the target audience of this set, I think that they will really enjoy this for what it is. It's got, you know, a racetrack. It's got a transporter for your cars. You can race them around the racetrack. You even have Lightning McQueen, which you can use as another race car as well. Yeah, that's, you know, that's fun. I think that they'll like that, and I do think that there is some value to this set. You know, a lot of printed pieces, a lot of rare pieces as well. But, you know, I think for the most part, the fact that it's Juniors kind of limits the displayability of it, which, you know, I was kind of hoping that it would be a little bit better in person, but it really is just as expected. What you see is what you get, and, you know, if you like that, you know, go for it. Jackson Storm, I think, is the highlight of the set, definitely. If you can get the set, you know, on clearance, 50% off or more, I don't think that it's bad value, but, you know, paying the full $50 for this, and I don't know if that is really worth it at all. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.